been covering this for us. Aldrin, I know you touched briefly on what happened in court, but before we get back into that, let's just talk about this revolutionary speech that Malema gave to supporters outside. I mean, the things he was saying, precisely why he was summoned to court in the first place.
Well, definitely, and quite defiant as well, considering that the charge that has been laid against him is for certainly remarks that he has just made now as well, that is occupying a vacant land. And quite frankly, in Matateni, when he made that speech in June, he said, go and occupy land that you want. He didn't even speak about vacant land. So the EFF is quite defiant. Earlier on, I also spoke to the spokesperson of the EFF, Mbuyiseni Ndlozi, who indicated that, listen, according to the current land policy, which says there is no land expropriation without compensation, that's certainly something that they do not support. They don't support the idea of having to pay for land which, quote unquote, they believe has been stolen. And that's where the EFF is standing on that. You heard also from Julius Malema saying the foundation of the EFF, or the ANC rather, when it was founded in 1912, was based on land, trying to bring back the land that was taken under the Land Act back in 1912 or 1913, if I'm not mistaken. He says also there's certainly the PAC as well. The PAC was founded on those same bases to bring back the land, and that revolution still continues. The fight still continues in 2016 for land which he says is land that belongs to the indigenous people of South Africa, and that is the black people.
I mean, there's so much support for this call, not only there from EFF members, but also from ANC members as well, saying that the struggle for land is a very real one, and Malema taking this even further to say that white domination must end.
Well, certainly earlier on, actually, we spoke to some of those people who we haven't been able to verify independently whether they are ANC members, and that's something that we just need to clear out and get out of the way. We haven't been able to verify independently whether they are ANC members, but they were wearing ANC t-shirts, some also bearing the face of the ANC president, Jacob Zuma. One person that I spoke to said that, listen, back in 2006, they were promised land. That land never came, and it was only when Julius Malema made this speech in June, when they went to occupy some land here in Newcastle, Ematateni, that they were given some sort of title deeds or a piece of paper stating that the council in that area will start developing that land, meaning that they will now be residents, legal occupants of that land. And they say that is purely because of Julius Malema's stance. Had they not gone there and occupied that land illegally, they would not have had this notice from the council saying that they will be developing that land.
All right, Aldrin, let's take it back to what happened in court. We do know that there's a postponement. Just take us through exactly why that is. Give us a recap.
Well, yes, the application that came from the defense is that they are challenging the constitutionality of the Riotous Assembly Act of 1956. They say it's an apartheid act, and considering that we live in a democracy, that act does not stand. That act should be declared invalid. And because they want to declare it invalid, it has to be done through a high court. It can't be done at a magistrate's court level. The application hasn't been made as yet, and that's the reason why the court has postponed provisionally until the 7th of December. In between today and the 7th of December, Julius Malema must then provide evidence to the state or to the prosecutors that he has made this application in the High Court to declare the Riotous Assemblies Act of 1956 unconstitutional and invalid. If that fails, the case will then be postponed to the 5th of May, and that's when a trial date will then be set to go ahead. And also clarification from the magistrate as well is that pending the outcome of that High Court case, that will also give us an indication what happens to the trial. What we shouldn't forget as well is that there's a second case also relating to the same act that was used, the second charge that was laid against Julius Malema, and this dates back to 2014, when he made the similar remarks at the EFF's inaugural conference in Bloemfontein, and this application will certainly affect that court case as well. We expect the same application to be made at that court case next week, Monday.
Aldrin, thank you very much for that. Our reporter Aldrin Sampear live from KZN there with an update on exactly what's been happening there. And I'm sure that we will have a lot more analysis coming out of that. We'll